Hey folks, this is Rob Ray. This is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Kaleb McIntire.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX ROCKS Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville down to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. Now, as always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuned in, please hit the like, follow, and or subscribe buttons. And now, for another great episode of ETX Rocks. Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the ETX ROCKS Show. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 229th episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Now, with experiences in Nashville, Texas, and even Europe, our guest for this episode is no stranger to hard times and scars. See what I did there?
Yeah. I love that.
You're filming, darling.
I know. With influences that range from Elvis to Strait and all the way to the outlaw movement in country music, Kaleb McIntire has taken an interesting road to achieving success with his music. That road has been filled with roadblocks and changes in life choices along the way, including not giving up on the music he truly believes in. Now, with help from guitarist Bryant Hunter and producer Heath Owen, son of the legendary Alabama frontman Randy Owen, Kaleb McIntire is blazing a trail in Texas and beyond with his unique sound. We are extremely excited to introduce y'all to Kaleb McIntire for the first time on the ETX ROCKS Show. All right, guys, this is episode 229. We're sitting here with Kaleb McIntire for the first time on the show. First of all, I just want to thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Chris.
Come visit with us. Kaleb actually got into town last night and spent the night in East Texas. How was that?
That's right. It was great, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Where are you coming from?
Aubrey, Texas, which is just right north of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not too bad.
Mm-hmm. We just moved actually though to it's right next door. It's called Valley View, and we're 2 houses down from old Randy Travis now.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah, man. We ran into him the other day. It was a pretty funny deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that's written songs with Randy back in the day, like the late
talent.
90s.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, Kaleb did bring his beautiful guitar. It's a Gibson. I love the guitar. It's got a hummingbird on it and butterfly. It's really cool. So that means he's going to play us some original music here on the show, which we're stoked about. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the first song. This one's the big single that did well nationally, right?
Yeah. It was called Redneck and All of Us, and I wrote that with a guy named Rich McCready and a guy named Brian Mayer. Brian Mayer wrote, like Small Town USA.
I remember Rich McCready.
You remember Rich?
Yeah, didn't he have like a major label deal, like late 90s?
He was my first producer. He's a good friend of mine too, as well. But yeah, he used to be with Magnatone Records.
Yes.
And the movie 8 Seconds.
Mm-hmm.
His songs are on that. Hanging On, which was his top 40 hit.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a good guy, crazy guy.
That's cool.
Good friend of mine.
Is he from Texas as well, or
no? He's from
this was in your Nashville
he's
days.
a Missouri boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you originally from Missouri?
I was born and raised in the Ozarks in Missouri,
okay.
Close to kind of Branson area.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this song is called Redneck and All of Us, and this song did really well not only on the national charts but also over in Europe, and I think it did chart in Texas too, didn't it?
I'm not really sure because I wasn't really promoting. I was just basically promoting it nationally and stuff like that. So even when it went #1 in Europe, like I had no idea.
Right.
I didn't even know.
And this song is what kind of catapulted you into playing in Europe, and we'll definitely talk about that with Kaleb after the song. But you guys check this out. This is called Redneck and All of Us by Kaleb McIntire.
Showers and he shaves, puts on his suit, jumps in his hybrid for his Monday commute. He worked real hard to get where he's at today, but he can't help but flipping the park in his parking space. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. Deep down we like to fight, spit and cuss. Camouflage is our favorite color that you just can't hide. David Allen coat t-shirt hanging in the closet. We wear it out proud when we're out honky-tonkin'. We raise a little hell, but in the end, in God we trust. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. She's nothing but class, and her heels and her dress. By the way she acts, well, you'd never guess. Yeah, what she does when the weekend rolls around. She might take you mudding in her truck, and if you're lucky, you might get stuck. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. Deep down we like to fight, spit and cuss. Camouflage is our favorite color that you just can't hide. Got an Earnhardt t-shirt hanging in the closet. We wear it out proud when we're out honky-tonkin'. We raise a little hell, but in the end, in God we trust. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. It don't matter who you are or what you do, you're lying to yourselves if you said it wasn't true. All right, Chris, help me out here. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. Deep down we like to fight, spit and cuss. Camouflage is our favorite color that you just can't hide. Got a Jerry Reed t-shirt hanging in the closet. We wear it out proud when we're out honky-tonkin'. We raise a little hell, but in the end, in God we trust. There's a little bit of redneck in all of us. Yeah, there's a little bit of redneck in all of us. Yeah, there's a little bit of redneck in all of us.
Okay, so we are back, and we have more stuff from Kaleb. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of his life, his songwriting, his career. Getting behind the music is what we do here on the ETX ROCKS Show. So it's always fun to kind of pick the brain of a creative person.
Oh man, very cool.
But as I mentioned in the intro, you have taken an interesting road when it comes to music, just in general, because you've had some major life changes along the way. You were in a wreck, almost had your arm amputated, and apparently went through hell and back to save the arm.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd really like to start there. Tell us about what happened with the wreck and how you overcame all of that struggle.
Well, I was doing the Nashville thing at the time, and things were going really well for me. I had I'm not bragging. I'm just giving you information. I mean, I had a big multi-million-dollar signing bonus. I had all sorts of good stuff going on for me, and the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes, He does.
And so I was on my way to Nashville to play some shows. I was coming from Texas because my band's always been from Texas.
Right.
I never use Nashville players. And
Smart guy.
kind of a long story to that. It's all mentality stuff. I like it out here in Texas. I like how y'all do things, And so I was on my way from rehearsing for a few days down in Dallas, and on my way to Nashville, and I got in a car wreck. Truck in front of me had no brake lights and slammed on its brakes, kind of sort of deal. And I just had a reflex because I came right up on him quicker than you'd think.
Yeah.
And I had to do that, and I crossed the median, and I hit a bunch of semis head on and stuff like that. And, also everything was broken back.
So you're lucky to be here.
Yeah, I was extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. Doctors said I was the luckiest dude they'd ever worked on. As a matter of fact, when they saved my arm and stuff like that, they couldn't believe it. And it took about 5 surgeries. They had to find all my tendons and broken bones and stuff, and they reattached it, and they put me a fake metal titanium elbow in here.
Wow.
One of the first of its kinds, too. So I have no restrictions. I have no,
Wow.
I won't have to have another surgery, hopefully, or anything like that.
And now, because of this huge change in your life and really having to fight for your craft, because, I mean, without your arm, how are you going to play guitar, right?
I was trying to figure out ways to play the steel or
Yeah,
something weird
right.
like that.
I can
While
imagine.
I was in the hospital bed.
But you mentioned, God works in mysterious ways, and maybe you weren't really traveling the road you wanted to travel, as musically speaking, in Nashville.
I wasn't happy out there. I still have a lot of really good relationships, and I like a lot of people out in Nashville. It's just the town, the machine is what I call it.
Right.
It's the way that they go about certain things musically,
Right.
formats, and back when my heroes, these guys,
Right.
were doing it. They didn't have any form. They were never told you had to have a format.
Yeah, well, they were told that. They just didn't listen.
They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I came to Texas, because we don't have to listen.
Yeah, you don't listen in Texas, that's for
Yeah.
sure. In fact, you're probably going to be more successful if you
Yeah.
buck the system here in
Right.
Texas.
So the labels dropped me on my hospital bed, and my publishers and all that kind of stuff, because they didn't want a one-armed
Yeah,
country singer under their label.
right.
I'm not going to mention any label names or anything like that, but when I got my arm put back on and they said I was going to be all right, they wanted me back, and so I kind of said no. I was kind of done with it, and having a morphine pump right next to me didn't help a whole lot.
Right.
I made the right choice. And,
I would agree,
Yeah.
for sure. Because, I mean, the first album, which I think was, 2012-ish?
Yes.
Scars,
Yes.
we mentioned in the open.
Rich McCready produced that one.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
very nice. But there is some pop sounding elements to that album. A little more rocky
Yeah.
than country, I would say.
Right.
Including the song you just played.
Right.
There was a lot of heavy hitting sounds in that, and
Yeah.
but the stuff you're doing now is night and day difference than that.
right. It's more
It just
more
sounds
you.
more honest
Absolutely.
from you now. Is that Texas that did that for you, or
Honestly, I would say yes, because it's basically the mentality I've always had, which is the same mentality that Texas music has.
Right.
In general,
Mhm.
do what you want, what you feel. Let your be artistic,
Right.
and don't listen to formats and what's on the radio and try to copy it, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I got so sick and tired of that kind of stuff. Was the major reason I couldn't live in that town anymore.
Yeah. And then there is at least one song that I know of that's on both records,
Uh-huh.
and they're different sounding.
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
you
I
can
wanted
tell.
to redo that one
Yeah.
because I wanted to do it more my way. Finally,
Right, right.
That's, we had Heath Owen in there producing, but really, me and Bryant basically produced it.
Yeah,
But we did have Heath in the room, and he helped with a lot of stuff. He co-wrote a song with me on that one and stuff as well.
Okay.
So, but we do like to try to produce stuff ourselves nowadays.
yeah. So for you as an artist, what's your favorite part of all this? I mean, there's multiple facets to an entertainer. There's performing, there's songwriting, there's production, there's all of that.
Right.
There's also, the instruments involved as well.
Right.
What's your favorite part of the process?
Well, obviously songwriting's awesome for me. I mean, I love to write songs. But growing up as a kid, you wanting to be a rock star
Yeah.
or whatever. You're thinking in your head, well, you're just gonna play music, man, in
Right.
front of people, and that's all you gotta do. And so that's my favorite part. But then also I finally realized, there's a lot more to it. When I
Yeah.
got older, politics and all sorts of
Mhm.
stuff to it. And so that stuff's not my favorite. My favorite's to perform in front of people and to
Cool.
write music.
Yeah, and a lot of times it is the songwriting part of it that is a person's favorite part of it.
Right.
Just because that's where you're able to show your vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's where you're able to get your therapeutic
Definitely.
parts out there. And I mean, you've got to have a lot of trust in your ability in order to show people
Absolutely.
that side of you. So as a younger artist, growing up and thinking about doing this as a living, how did you cross that bridge, Because I can imagine as an early songwriter, you might not have that confidence in your ability.
Right.
How do you get across that bridge?
Really, man, I mean, I've learned a lot of lessons in this business, you know. I've had my ups and downs, and, you know, like I said, when I was in Nashville and had the big bonuses and all the craziness going on and all that kind of stuff, you know, you can't help. I mean, everybody will tell you this. You get a little arrogant, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, the Lord knocked me back down a peg or two and showed me what my real purpose was.
Right.
And, basically, you know, just stuff like that, basically. I mean, that's,
so just being kept honest.
Yeah. You got to be honest in your music, especially. I mean, if you're not writing stuff that's real, then you might as well not be writing, in my opinion.
Exactly.
You know?
And you guys, I mean, we had a sneak peek that came out on Facebook a couple of weeks before this came out. A song called Love Song that he performed today. And this is a good example of what might have been. You know, like, I should have wrote a love song.
Right.
But, you know, it talks about in the song trying to get your feelings out through the guitar strings.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the exact line is, but it's something to that effect.
That's it.
And that's really what music's all about, is trying to portray an emotion or a feeling to an audience.
Right.
And that's a great example for that. And if you guys did not get to see that, check it out on our Facebook. It's at ETX Rocks. Just go back. I think it's came out on the 20th or something like that. So just go back and check that out, because it's a good example of writing a song to portray an emotion.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's kind of different for you too, because like we said off camera, you're kind of known for that upbeat, hard driving song that makes you want to tap your feet and get out on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So what's it like to try to slow it down somewhat?
You know, making a set list is always a predicament. That, you know what I mean? You know,
how much strategy do you put into the set list?
I put a lot of strategy into the set list because, you know, we do have a lot of upbeat dancing kind of songs. But, you know, slowly but surely, since I've been out here in Texas especially, I've written quite a few ballad-like songs and love songs and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good mixture now, actually.
Now, when you're writing that style of song, because it's not something you've done a lot, do you feel less confident in that, or how does that work for you internally?
I'm sorry. Repeat me that question.
When you're writing a ballad instead of an upbeat, hard driving song, do you feel like there's less confidence there?
Well, to tell you the
internally?
truth, when I write a ballady kind of song, it'll only happen if I'm really feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be coming straight from the heart that day. You know.
So what kind of things inspire that in you?
Heartache. You know, a good woman.
Yeah.
Just even memories, you know.
Right.
Even memories that won't leave my skull.
Yeah.
So that stuff like that will definitely do it.
Did your writing change or post accident from what it was pre-accident?
My writing basically went back to what I wanted to do, which is what I did before the Nashville run. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I'm happy. I never knew that I'd get back to that again, and was kind of down on myself because of that. You know, because you know, with the publishing deal out there, you got to meet the format, and it's got to sound like this.
You have to be marketable.
Yeah, you know, and you can't be too righty, too deep, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm glad I got away from that and finally got my head
just to
back
hear
straight.
that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know, because for me as a music fan, I want to feel something.
Right.
You know, I know you're the same way just by reading about your influences, man. We grew up on Waylon and Merle and all these guys that could hit you in the feels. Even Elvis was that way. I mean, let's be honest.
Totally. The king.
And now today, you can't do that. You know, you turn on the radio, you're not going to feel nothing.
It's true. It's true.
Unless you're, like, you get songs like Body Like a Back Road. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Does it mean it's full of potholes? I don't get it.
I know what you mean, man.
But you lived that. Like, you lived that part of a musician's career to where you were being, you know, almost steered by someone else musically.
Right.
And it took an act of God to change that for you.
Absolutely.
Do you think if that hadn't have happened, you would have gotten out of that?
I was already really unhappy with what they were turning me into, you know. But to be honest with you, that's a good question because I don't know, man.
Because it would seem to me like, I mean, I've met major label artists, I've met a lot of independent artists. It would seem to me like you would be zapped creatively to the point where you're just hollow.
Yeah, I was. That's how I felt, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Now, they try to reel you in with the money thing.
Right.
So that...
And I think that's the difference, It's like, do you want to be true to your art, or do you want to be famous and rich?
Exactly.
Why can't you be both?
Exactly. So that's where I went with it, Music business in general is a long shot, but,
Right.
I said to myself, if I'm going to go for this shot, then I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. There's no...
And it's got to be really heartening to know that there are examples out there of people that are making it happen. People like Cody
Johnson, Cody James.
Yeah, Aaron Watson.
Yeah.
Go a little bigger like Sturgill and Jason Isbell. These guys that are putting out their heart and their creativeness, and some of those guys are signed to major labels.
Yeah,
so
man.
that's going to be a constant inner struggle for them. But it sounds to me, from listening to their music, that they're winning that struggle.
Yeah, it's encouraging, man.
It is. It's got to be encouraging.
The cowboy hats and country music are coming back. And
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
So we mentioned in the open some of this guy's influences, and Elvis is one of those influences. You don't hear that very often in country music, especially in Texas. Yeah. So where'd you pick up that influence from? Is that just from being in the Ozark area?
Well, my pops is a saxophone player. He plays keys and other stuff, but he's a pro saxophone player. And all growing up, man, Elvis was king in our house. And I mean, if you said otherwise, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah. I lived that life too. Believe
me. From an early age, I got to respect and realize just how great Elvis was. He really was the full package. Just
absolutely.
And country, as far as country goes, his favorite form of music was country.
Yep. Country and gospel, which are first cousins anyway.
Exactly.
Honestly,
that's how I got my start. Was as a young kid playing drums on the road doing gospel music.
Right.
So
that's cool. So you started as a drummer.
Yeah, started as a drummer. Then I was a bass player in a band in junior high, Christian band. And we,
so you can basically do all the studio stuff yourself at this point.
I do a lot of that. Yeah, I love to play. I get any excuse I get to get behind the drums or steel guitar. Or anything, I'll do it anytime.
So what is studio day like for you?
Studio day like for me, it depends really.
It's got to depend on the producer a lot.
If I'm real adamant and set on what I'm gonna do, then that's me being happy and excited to do it, But if I get thrown in a studio and told to hurry up and record some songs, that can get nerve-wracking.
Yeah, just being rushed.
Yeah,
you can't rush good art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're probably really vocal in that room then.
Yeah. I'm very vocal in the sound room for sure.
Because I mean, listening to the new record, which is I'm going to show the people out there. It's called In These Shadows. It's not new, but it's the most recent record.
It's my last one.
But just all through here, it's a composition. You're going to hear different instruments here and there, and so I mean, are you heavily involved in choosing? Like where a fiddle goes, or I want to hear a little steel riff here.
Absolutely. I do 90% of that probably.
So how do you picture that in your mind? Like how is that coming to be?
Well, after doing it a couple times, it's gotten a lot easier. I mean, I remember the first time I went into the studio to record like Scars, with Rich, and man, that was a new world to me. The whole process. I mean, I'd recorded before at places and done, but not like that, And it was a new experience for me, but I learned a lot. I watched like a hawk the whole time, my first time in there. And then after that, I'd do demos for George Jones or people like that. So I'd learned some lessons, And by the time I did this album, I pretty much had learned quite a few lessons as far as recording, and it helped a lot,
What I really love about the record here, I've listened to most of the songs on there, is, even though... reading about you, hearing what you've gone through, the struggles, the wreck, the losing your label money and all that stuff, you would, as a fan or a listener, it would almost be okay for a record to come out really dark.
Yeah.
After going through all of that.
Right.
And that's not what this is, even though it's called In These Shadows.
Right.
There's not really a whole lot of darkness on the record.
I try to be a pretty happy guy most of the time, and I've got a lot of stuff that I want to record on this next one that's probably more what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Some of it's pretty dark and gloomy, but at the same time, I didn't want my first record after all that stuff happening to me. I didn't want to come out with that stereotypical.
Well, I mean, I think it's
sad
cool
thing.
because that shows that you're okay with winning.
Yeah. I'm okay with playing music. I'm lucky to do what I do, and that's all I care.
And I imagine, you probably have fans that have been with you from the beginning that
Absolutely.
are following your journey every
Absolutely.
single day, every single month, that are really, really proud of you
Great
for that.
fans. I have great fans and love every one of them, man. They're very encouraging, and
Yeah.
through those times especially, man, they're what got me through it,
Yeah. So you mentioned you're from the Ozark area of Missouri, kind of near Branson.
Yeah.
Were you influenced by Branson at all as a kid?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Everybody from Ray Stevens to Jim Stafford to
Wow.
Mickey Gilly, all them guys.
Wildfire,
The
Jim
Bald
Stafford.
Knobbers. Yeah, Wildfire. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, man. All them good cats. Those guys are good.
So, were you going to shows a lot?
Yeah.
Because you said your dad was a big influence as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've played on a few of them as well, and,
Wow.
and stuff like that. Some churches even out there I played in, and
So how was your dad involved with music that he was able to influence you so heavily?
he's a saxophone player. He's played sax for quite a few different people, and in the studio, he does a lot of sax work in the studio. He's actually on a couple of my songs on Scars.
Okay.
We
That
had
was him playing?
Yeah, we had him
Okay.
come in like Newton County Jail,
Yeah,
I believe,
yeah.
and stuff. You hear that sax? That's my pops, and he actually, when I first started my country band, he played keys for me.
Okay.
And so did backup harmonies for me and stuff like that too, and he enjoyed every bit of it.
So as you have a live touring band as well. You play a lot of dates in Texas. How many pieces is your band?
We're a 5-piece.
Okay.
Yep, we just added a new fiddle player. I had him back in the day as well, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but he had some issues. Every musician does, right?
Musician issues.
Yeah. And so I hadn't had him play for me in quite a while, but he's got his stuff together now, and we've got him back out here in Texas. And he's Merle Haggard's old fiddle player. He played with everyone from Merle to Marty Stewart to
Wow.
Brenda
No pressure,
Bromley's.
Caleb.
No, he's so good, man. He's a killer talent, and he's doing really well, and we're stoked about him.
Are you playing predominantly just the DFW area? I mean, I've seen your name pop up from other parts of Texas too.
I mean, yeah, we do play at other spots in Texas. Right now, I'm trying to concentrate because we're newbies, out here, and I'm trying to concentrate specifically on the Dallas Metroplex area. The Stockyards, and we do Gas Monkey and Billy Bob's and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I want to get things rocking out here, and then we'll expand out to where I've basically been playing my whole life.
And I think Texas will really jump on board with what you're doing because you may not be from Texas, but you have that spirit within you musically that a lot of the guys here hold on to with a clenched fist.
And that's what Plano, Texas is all about.
Yeah.
Really, is that
And I can't wait for y'all to hear that. That's the second song he's going to play a little bit later in the show. It's called Plano, Texas. And I think you said you might release that as a single.
I'm thinking about that being the next one.
So since he's not entirely convinced yet, you guys make sure you listen to that song at the end. And let's blow up the comments on this video.
Yeah, let me know.
And if you like it, then we're going to let Caleb know that that's the one that y'all like. All right, so in this segment, we call this the first interview segment. And as you guys know out there, we like to surprise our guests. And that is coming up. We're going to play What the Heck with Caleb here in a minute. So y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to do that. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is something you wrote in a questionnaire that we have our guests fill out. You call it True Country with a Rattlesnake Bite.
Yeah.
Man, I love that.
Oh, thank you.
That could only come from a songwriter.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, you are true country, but at the same time, there is that bite to it. There's that almost edginess to the music, like you're trying, like you're straddling a line over here, but your country roots don't quite let you go over that line.
Right.
But I can imagine you're also probably heavily into rock music as well.
I come from the metal world,
So how do you tone that down to stay within your country roots?
Well,
because I can imagine you're just wanting to.
Yeah. I listened to when I was writing that album. Me and Bryant, we were listening to a whole lot of Buck Owens and Pantera at the same time.
Wow.
So
that would be a record.
You know what I mean? Like it shows through if you listen to like Breathe or Burn or any of those kinds of songs. You can kind of see the Dimebag, but yet Buck Owens at the same time, licks that we're putting in there and stuff, and parts and dynamics, and But yeah, I mean, I come from the metal world also. When I was in high school and first to college, I was in a band called Red Devil Eye.
You heard it here first.
I was doing everything I could to rebel against my old man at that time.
And I can imagine that would happen as well.
You know, and
it probably drove him crazy.
Yeah, I kind of, you know, and not to get all religious on you or anything, but I, you know, started walking with the Lord again. You know, like I know I should, and that's when I went back to my roots, which is what comes naturally. From voice and whatnot and writing and all that.
I just wanted to get that line in there because I want to use that as the tagline for this episode. I loved it so much when you wrote that in there. So guys, as I promised, we're going to be right back right after this message. We're going to play What the Heck with Kaleb and really try to mess with his mind a little bit.
I'm excited.
So y'all stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Heather Little. Thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.
Okay, so we are back. Once again, you guys are tuned into episode 229 of the ETX ROCKS Show. Just mind-blowing how many of these we've done, and it's just a huge blessing to get to talk to so many different incredible creative geniuses like Kaleb McIntire, singer-songwriters, artists, people in all brands of entertainment. Just really, really blessed to get to do what we do. All right, so as you guys know, if you tuned in to many episodes of the ETX ROCKS Show, we like to surprise our guests with a game on every episode. Now, when we email our prospective guests for the show, we always say check out an episode or two, and we even give them the link to the show. And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But they're usually surprised if they don't because we play a game on the show.
Yeah.
So this is called What the Heck, Kaleb, and the way this works, I'm going to ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
I might even go to 6, who knows, but... some of these questions are going to be really stupid and ridiculous. Some might be a little deeper than that.
Okay.
But basically what I'm looking for is I want you to turn your filter off.
Okay.
So whatever you're thinking when I ask a question is what we want to hear.
All righty.
All right, sound good?
You might think I'm crazy, but okay.
That's all right. I'm looking for crazy, as you
Alrighty.
guys out there know. So guys, this is What the Heck with Kaleb McIntire. All right, number 1. So I've been watching Walt Disney for pretty much my whole life, you know, and I've watched a lot of cartoons with Donald Duck in it. Have you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So have you ever seen Donald Duck wearing pants?
I
Me
guess
either.
no.
Like I've never seen Donald Duck wearing
Like a
pants.
diaper or something, maybe.
But yet on these same cartoons, when he gets out of a shower, he uses a towel to dry himself off.
Yeah.
Or he'll wrap himself in a towel.
Yeah.
Why? He doesn't wear pants. Why is he going to wrap himself in a towel?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess he doesn't like the water. I guess he wants the water off of
But
him.
he's a duck.
That is a weird deal.
Yeah.
That is a weird deal. That's a hard one to answer.
I'm telling you. It's just something I've always wanted to know. All right, number 2. Where do you think squirrels go during hurricanes?
I'm gonna go with A, either underground or in a tree.
Okay. Squirrels underground.
Find a hole. I don't know. I guess maybe find a hole or so. Well, I guess a hurricane might be a bad deal.
Yeah.
I think
in a tree would be a bad deal during a hurricane,
I know,
too.
right? I think that they're gonna finally smarten up and come knocking on people's doors.
Okay. So, all right. So basically, if you hear knocks on your door when there's a hurricane coming, it's probably squirrels.
It's probably a squirrel.
Remember that out there.
I have a squirrel, as a matter of fact.
Do you really?
I have a pet squirrel. You call him sugar.
You have one
sugar
now?
bladder. It's not with me right now, but it's at my hotel room.
Really?
Yeah. His name's Willie, after Willie Nelson, and he's a little. They call him sugar bears. He's a little flying squirrel.
I can't tell if he's telling me the truth
I'm
or not.
telling you the 100% truth right now. He's a little sugar bear. He likes to glide from side to side of the room and
Really?
plays all day.
And you
long.
thought it would be cool to bring this squirrel to a motel room.
I bring him everywhere I go.
That's not true. He's not here.
You're right. I couldn't bring him to this. He's a little shy.
Man, I would have loved to see this squirrel.
I should have.
If he's real.
I should have brought him.
It's not like a Rocky squirrel, right? It's a real
He's
squirrel.
He's like a little gray flying squirrel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. So he's at like the Motel 6 right now.
He's there right now in his cage, flying around.
So when you get back to the motel room, you're going to ask him where he would go if there was a hurricane, right?
Man, now that you asked me,
All right,
I
text
have
me
to.
the answer.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I will.
All right, number 3. So you can choose any songwriter, alive or dead, to write your life story in a song.
Okay.
Who are you choosing?
Billy Joe Shaver.
Really? Why?
in my opinion, he paints some of the best pictures as far as songwriting of anybody. You know what I mean? So as far as a song like what you're talking about, my life story, you know, for one, I think me and Billy have a lot in common with kind of how we've lived our lives, for one.
Yeah.
But second of all, man, he's just a great storyteller.
I agree.
Great, one of the great songwriters ever, obviously. But
awesome.
that's
All
probably
right,
what I choose.
number 4. So, how long do you wait after eating your first portion of food to go back to get seconds?
Oh man, I don't wait very long. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I guess if I had to say an answer, man, right when I finish the first plate.
So you don't even care if everybody's had their first plate. You're just like, it's all about number
As
1.
long as there's enough there and everyone's going to be okay, I'm going to go back for my second helping.
Lack of patience when it comes to food, right?
That's right.
Awesome. All right, number 5. This will be the last one now. Okay. So, what flavor of Pop-Tart would you be? If you were a Pop-Tart, what flavor would you be and why?
I think I would be I'd be one of those the s'mores.
Yeah?
I think I'd be one of those.
Why do you think so?
Well, first of all, they taste the best.
Okay.
But second of all,
As far as Pop-Tarts go.
they got a lot of different stuff going on inside there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like what I got going on up here a lot of times. I got
There's a lot of different flavors.
a lot of different flavors, and you know, even my ethnicity, man. I'm a mutt, about as much mutt as I could possibly be. Native American, Irish, Scots-Irish, got some Jewish in me, you know, and so, you know, I'd be a smorgasbord.
So it'd be like a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord,
Yeah.
that's right.
Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Remember smorgasbord pizza at lunch at school?
Yeah.
You remember that? Is that just me? Am I just really old?
No, I had it for sure.
All right, I'm going to give him one bonus one. I just think it'd be funny. What do you think cats dream about?
Cats dream. I think they dream about mice.
Just mice? Like mice, or like the mice that go on computers?
I think they dream about actual mice, and in their dreams, I think they're probably always just about to catch that.
Well,
mouse.
what if it's a cat that's only lived in a house that's never seen a mouse? How would they
seen a
dream
mouse?
about a mouse?
Does he have cat toys?
We'll say he does. So he's dreaming about the cat
He's dreaming
toys.
about the cat toys, and he's almost getting it, and then he wakes up.
Wow, that's just dirty. But that's how dreams go, don't
Yeah,
they?
They do for me. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. All right, last one. I know I said 5, but this is going well. Okay, number 7. What do you think Superman's changing clothes nowadays?
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do the telephone booth thing anymore.
Yeah, they
you
don't
know?
exist. So
And plus, if they did exist, they'd give him a public indecency charge.
damn straight they would.
So I'm gonna go with he's got to go find him a public restroom or something and go into a stall.
So like maybe porta potties.
Porta potties would work. It's gonna take him a lot longer than it used to get ready.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's not good. Because there's a
good
lot
at
more
all.
crime
I
nowadays.
don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we need a quicker Superman, not a slowed down one.
I'm with you on that. man.
Bring back the phone booth. Hashtag bring back the phone booth.
Yes.
All right, so that was What the Heck with Kaleb McIntire. Good job, man.
Thank
He did not win. I'll tell him why after. Because I can't say that on camera or everybody in the future will be winning, and that's not fun.
Right.
So we don't have anything to give away. You know?
That's fine.
So you are going to play a second song. We mentioned it earlier. This is Plano, Texas. A really cool song. Tell us about the song. And as I've said to you off camera, I really love the wordplay in this song.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us about the writing process for this song.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't live too far away from the Plano area.
Yeah.
And I wrote it with Rich McCready. And we really, at the time, Plano was kind of a mecca for Texas songwriting at the time that I wrote it. And so putting those things together, along with the real point of the song, is it's a state. Plano, Texas, is a state of mind. You know? The way, like I've told you before, and why I'm here, even, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just the freedom and the you can do what you want. It's different than anywhere else in the country, you know.
Right.
And so it's kind of just a state of mind, basically.
And this is also very different than what Kaleb normally does. It's Kaleb is awesome at the upbeat, hard driving songs like we mentioned earlier, and this right here is as ballad as you can get. And as I've said to him off camera, I love the wordplay in this song. See if you guys can catch the wordplay out there. Y'all check it out. This is Plano, Texas by Kaleb McIntire.
Well, I've seen the world, yeah, enough to know that everything, it's gonna come and go. So I just sing my songs like I've always done, from the break of day until it's setting sun. 'Cause I'm just plain old Texas, setting my ways and chiseled like stone. I ain't gonna change the way my life is, 'cause baby, I'm just plain old, yeah, plain old Texas. I still love the way, yeah, dirt road feels in my pickup truck, underneath my wheels, and the sound of twin fiddles, the honky tonk, got everything right here that I could ever want. 'Cause I'm just plain old Texas, setting my ways and chiseled like stone. Ain't gonna change the way my life is, 'cause baby, I'm just plain old, yeah, plain old Texas. I'm just plain old Texas, setting my ways, yeah, chiseled like stone. I ain't gonna change the way my life is, 'cause baby, I'm just plain old, yeah, plain old Texas. Yeah, I'm just plain old Texas.
All right, so we are back once again with Kaleb McIntire. You guys were just listening to Plano, Texas. And again, as I said earlier in the episode, if you really enjoyed that song, he's considering putting that out as a single. And what that means is if he puts it out as a single, that means you'll hear it on the radio. And so if you like the song enough that you want to hear it on the radio, comment down below, whether it's on Facebook or wherever you're listening or tuned in at. Comment below. I'm going to make sure he sees these comments that you want to hear Plano, Texas on the radio. Let's talk him into releasing that song as a single.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
He needs that little push. So we're gonna do that. So you guys comment down below wherever you're listening or watching, and we'll get Plano, Texas out there on the radio. Kaleb, if people are just hearing about Kaleb McIntire for the first time, where can they follow along with your musical journey?
As far as the music, we're pretty much on all the musical outlets, iTunes, CD Baby, Dig Station. Definitely get us on Spotify, because Spotify helps a lot. And got a website, KalebMcIntire.com. We do the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And it's Kaleb McIntire Music, I think, everywhere, right? Or is it band?
It's just Kaleb McIntire.
Okay.
But on Facebook, it's Kaleb McIntire Band.
Right.
And my name is spelled, by the way, with a K, Kaleb.
And it's McIntire.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, very important, and you can see that right there. If you want to just pause the show and just make it bigger, or just look in the description below.
Yeah.
We're going to have links to all that stuff down there. So it's Kaleb McIntire on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places, KalebMcIntire.com. And I imagine people can see your tour dates and how to book you and contact you and all that stuff through the webpage. And where would you send people to buy your music?
Well, to be honest, iTunes isn't my favorite source, because of a few reasons. But CD, I would suggest CD Baby.
Okay.
Or here pretty soon, the hard copies will even be for sale off my website.
Awesome.
But really, the way I'd really like them to do it is come to a show.
Yeah.
And
I would agree with that.
Get one cheaper even that way. And,
Yeah.
And we can sign it. The band can sign it for them. And all sorts of good stuff.
So we're going to put all of that stuff down in the description. We'll put a CD Baby link for the new record down below, and of course his webpage. As I say on this show all the time, you guys out there don't know how much it supports an artist just to hit the like button on Facebook or the follow button on Instagram and Twitter. Mostly, I guess, because venues look at that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that definitely supports an artist, and it costs you nothing out there, guys, to do that. So definitely follow along with Kaleb. And so I have one last question. Sometimes this can be the hardest question that we ask on the show.
Okay.
Who is Kaleb McIntire?
Who is Kaleb McIntire? He is a reformed outlaw country singer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've kind of I've had my rough past and whatnot, and all my heroes have always been outlaws, and the kind of stuff that comes out of me is naturally kind of that. You know what I mean? But I get religious on you again. I'm going for the lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going for the
found.
Yeah, I'm going for the lost.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Great answer.
Thank you.
So, guys, once again, this has been episode 229 with Kaleb McIntire. Kaleb, I definitely want to thank you for the first time coming on the show.
Hey, thank you.
Spending
Chris.
a little time with us here in East Texas.
It's been a pleasure, man.
It's always fun to talk to artists, not only from Texas, but Kaleb being from Missouri, we don't hold that against him too badly. Because he's here in Texas now, and I think you're going to make a mark here, man. I really
appreciate that, man.
So you guys, again, as I said just now, make sure you're following along with Kaleb, because he's got great stuff going on. He's got new music coming very shortly, possibly in the next year, hopefully.
Yep, absolutely.
So be looking for that, and in the meantime, pick up a copy of this incredible record. It's called In These Shadows. This is a full-length album. It's not an EP, so you're going to get, I think, 9 songs off of this. So just great stuff. And as he said, the best place to get this, come to a show. But if you're not in the DFW area and you still want to have a copy of this, the best place to go is CD Baby, and you can get that in the description right down below, wherever you're listening or tuning in at. So if you guys are tuned in to us for the first time, we definitely want to thank you guys for that. Again, this has been episode 229. You can follow along with everything ETX Rocks related. We're located at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at ETX Rocks. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, you can help us a lot just by hitting that subscribe button down below. It's completely free to you guys to do that. And we have almost 900 videos for you guys to choose from to watch. And we're adding 5 or 6 every single week. So we will be bringing you guys amazing talent, amazing content, hopefully forever. So if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. Smash that like button as well, wherever you're at. That'll definitely help us out. Now, also, all of our funding depends entirely on viewers like you guys out there. So you guys can donate to the ETX Rock Show as well. You can do so at www.paypal.me/ETX Rocks. Very simple to do. You'll see a picture of me on there with a couple of artists. I think I'm on there with Darren Morris and Katie Lynn or something like that. But you'll know it's me. It'll say Christopher Barnes. Yeah, I have a real name. But yeah, anything you guys can contribute will definitely help us out a lot. Every single donation we have goes right back into the show, whether it's to upgrade our equipment or even throw some gas in the gas tank to do an on-location interview from time to time. So you guys can definitely help us out with that. Now, as we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't you ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right.
Howdy, folks. This is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake. And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes, Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwan.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Blacktop Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.